Hey guys, Bradley Burnett here with the roll call, Grappling with Purpose. We're going to start a new segment every week called Truth and Technique. And I want to share the truth out of God's Word, and then we're going to show a technique of the week. I got my buddy and student here, Maverick Williams. Be watching for him because he's a stud. Hey, we're going to talk about this truth this week is training for godliness, right? If you come in on the mats once a week in Jiu-Jitsu, you're never going to progress. Or it's going to be a long, long journey. My recommendation is at least twice a week, but come multiple times a week. Maverick's here 4 times a week. So this is what I want to say out of the book, Train for Godliness. Out of 1 Timothy chapter 4, it says, physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better. Right? Training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life and the life to come. And if we look at the life of Jesus, he's our example, right? And let's look at what he had to do to train for godliness. You know, he was fully man and fully God. And this is what it says in Mark 1, verse 35. I need glasses. It says, before daybreak, the next morning, Jesus got up and went out to an isolated place to pray. If Jesus had to get up early and pray, how much more do we have to do that? And it says he got up early. I think that's a real key there. All right, so if Jesus has to spend time praying to God, how much more time do we have to need to communicate with God? And then the last verse is out of Joshua 1, chapter 1, verse 7, 8, and 9. It says, be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the instructions Moses gave you. Do not deviate from them, turning either to the right or to the left. Then you will be successful in everything you do. Study this book of instruction continually. Meditate on it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything everything that is written in here. So Jesus prayed, got up early and prayed, and then Joshua is telling us to read this, follow this, meditate on this day and night. That's how you grow in your walk with Christ. That's how you train for godliness. So that's the truth portion. We want to show a couple techniques here. I love this Kimura trap system. So I'm going to be on my back. We're going to get into half guard. Come around here, Rusty. So this half guard position, the Kimura trap system is all about using this Kimura lock to get to other places, right? We can always, like if I come in here and I start to get in this Kimura, obviously if he doesn't defend the arm, right, I'm going to go for this Kimura. But most likely, anybody that's trained a while is going to tuck this arm, and I'm not going to be able to get this Kimura. That's okay. I'm going to go for another sweep here, and then we'll get to the back and start to submit. So what I do, I'm going to go for a sweep here. I'm going to get my hips under him. The whole time I'm pushing my arm and his hand into his belly. And so when I do this, I'm going to just bridge over my left shoulder, and I get this nice sweep here. Okay, from here, I'm still pushing this arm. I'm not going for the Kimura because it's tough. He's got it locked. All right, I'm going to put my left shoulder on the mat, right? And then I'm in this position. He might think, hey, I got the back. I can take the back here. But the reality is, you'll see my hips are above his hips. He can't, I'm in a safe position. Even if he's trying to use his legs here, no problem. When I start to feel I have a little bit of an opening, I'm going to use my left leg just to kind of posture up and jump over his head, continually pushing this hand into his stomach. Now, he's got a couple options. Well, he's got 3 options. He can sit here and do nothing. I could posture up. I could come up and take just the regular Kimura, but we're not going to go for that because we're doing the trap system. If he runs away from me, the reality is he's going to tighten this even tighter, right? So his only option really is to run towards my head. And when he does that, he gives me a little space to slide my knee in. I'm going to put my hook over, bring this back over his head, and it's fitting, and we got the back. Now we can choke. You know, there's an arm bar here, triangle, thing like reverse triangle, things like that, all right? So the Kimura trap system, highly beneficial to get to other positions. So now the Kimura trap system works the same position or the same result, but we start on top. So we're in this position. Again, he's got half guard here. I'm on top this time. And there's a couple ways I'm going to get this Kimura, right? Maybe he doesn't have the underhook yet. He's hugging me, right? I'm just going to bring my arm over his head, drop on my hip, and as I start to push on this knee, a lot of the younger grapplers, right, will know if I push on his knee, he's not going to get to mount. But what he does is he gives me his arm. And so I'm now able to push this to the mat, get this Kimura grip. And you'll notice, right, I'm in that same top position. Put my shoulder on the mat, And now I start to posture up. He can't take anything from here. And when I feel the opening, right, I'm just going to slide over his head, come back up. Again, if he doesn't do anything from here, we're not going to do this per se, but I'll show you. If he just sits here, I can come up, right? Cover the head, pull him up, regular Kimura, Toriko Plata, you know, maybe a reverse triangle, things like that. But again, he's going to stay on his back. He's going to run towards me. I'm going to slide my knee under, hook the leg. Go ahead and get this seatbelt grip. That way I have good control, roll to my side. Let me show you one other way to get this Kimura grip. If he's down, he's going to be fishing for the underhook if he's a good grappler. Most likely he's going to be wanting this underhook. Yes, why? Because if he starts to build up, right, he can knee tap me here, and then he can start to get into that top position. But the reality is I'm okay with him getting this underhook position because what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover this arm. And you'll notice the hand is right where I want it to be for this Kimura, the Kimura lock again. So we're in this top position, right? And that's where we go in and get to that, to the back. Now, if we go back, I should have done this on the first one, but we'll go back to it real quick. We're in this position, right? If I feel that he's posted his hand out and I can't get this swing, right? Maybe I go for the sweep. Yeah. I can also come in here and I'm just going to shoot my hips out, right? I'm going to spin under, keeping his hands pushed into his belly the whole time. Spinning under, get my knee under again. And look, you'll notice we're in that same exact back take position. So that's the Kimura trap system, guys. Super beneficial to get to different positions. You're using this lock, keeping this tight, right? A lot of times when they get this and they defend, you can't get that Kimura, especially if they have a gi on, they're grabbing their belt. So I want to encourage you guys, look at that Kimura trap system. This is Bradley Burdett, the roll call, truth and technique.